To God about it. Possible.
There's
a lot going on. Hello, everyone. I think we're
Are we live?
I think so.
Great. Hello. Welcome to Ice Cream Sundays with Nougats of Truth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a breezy day here on the Big Island of Hawaii, and we are a few minutes late because Marita was playing with a new yard implement called a heavy-duty weed whacker, and it was a joy.
I think that's what's been missing in my life, actually.
Okay. My name is Rose with Live by Design. This is my partner, Marita, one who catches lightning with the path of Ish. Excuse me, I think I just sneezed. Oh, maybe just a yawn. Sort of anticlimactic. So we're here for Ice Cream Sundays with Nougats of Truth. This is a live that we do most Sundays, United States time Sundays at, generally we like to do it at about 6 p.m. Pacific time. We are getting on at 7 today. For some reason, we still have our alarms set for the old time before the time change. Crazy dog and cat shenanigans happening in the background. So for those of you joining for the first time, welcome. This is a live clearings and readings group that we do here on Facebook once a week. We've been doing it for probably over 2.5 years at this point. Both of us have a very long history of working in spiritual work and being connected to it and a part of it and trained, and we did not just wake up 2 years ago or 2 weeks ago. And I mean, yeah, and wake up is like, you know, and I'm saying that not to be snarky to people who are just getting to a place where you're awakening to some aspect of spirituality in your life. I really am not saying that. I'm saying that because I think it's important to be aware of who you are accepting guidance from. And let me tell you, I don't necessarily think you have to go to people who have been trained for their whole lives, but it is important to have an awareness, right? So I just like to be open about the fact we both have been working in this area for a long time with differing types of training and experience. And we're here to do readings and ice cream chakra clearings, which nobody else does. This is our thing. If you see somebody else doing this, I'm about to be real pissed because this is our thing. Nobody else does it. In fact, it's kind of breaking with a lot of tradition of how people do energetic clearings. Oh, there must be a lot of stuff coming through today. I'm like having all of these. I was not yawning like 2 seconds before we got on.
Please like, please share. Sharing is caring and it is free. So even if you share on your own Facebook page or in any groups, I try to share in some groups. You are the reason that we've been able to reach
hundreds of thousands
of people over the last 2.5 years. You know, so we're almost really at that 2 3/4 year.
Yeah, we're getting close. Towards the later part of summer, we'll be at 3 years, which is wild. One day, Marita was just like, we should do this thing. It would be an amazing combination of our skills and talents and this fun, playful energy. And I was like, I don't know, mom, which is something I do regularly. Yeah. And then I stick with it anyway. And eventually 3 years have gone by. I feel like that's how most people must feel about podcasts. Like all of a sudden they look back and they're like, this is our 300th episode. And they're like, holy crap. I wonder how many of these we've done. We haven't done them every weekend, but we've done a lot of them over the past 2.5 years. We've done them when we were traveling. We've done them even from Thailand. In the middle of like the night and morning, because it was such a crazy time difference. We've done them on the East Coast of the United States. We've done them all over the place.
Yeah.
So anyway, just to let you know how it's going to roll out, do you want to tell people kind of like the
format?
Or do you want to do your business over there? Okay.
So we're going to draw a card for the kind of the week, right? So to see what the week is ahead. And then we're going to do after that. So as Rose is drawing that card, right? She comes from more of a card reading tradition than I do. And you can put in the comments whether you want to be picked. If you want a card or a clearing, permission granted. And then if you want a card, give us your topic of choice. And I will put them on a list. I'll write them down. Then we'll do a random draw. I actually use random.org list, just so you know, it is random. And then we pick 3 people, work with them, and then do a clearing at the end. Please write permission granted. We don't do anything without your permission, and we double, triple, quadruple check, because we do not want to, what's the term yesterday that I was telling you? I was teaching yesterday, and this term came up. It was non-consensual spirituality.
Yeah, we said that before.
Yeah, so we don't believe in that, and so we want to check in and making sure that you are aware of what you're asking for.
And listen, here's the thing. When you get into our spaces that we facilitate that are paid containers and non-paid containers, low cost, high cost, whatever, there will be many different levels of challenging, of, holding you accountable.
Hi, Sam.
Of supporting you and confronting your shiznit. But it's not something that we just go around the world being like, well, I know what your shit is, and so I'm just going to come up and tell you to your face and tell you what you need to do. And I'm going to give you exactly what I see coming for you without permission, because that's not really like our ethical, that's just not like in our ethics, I guess, which is nice that we agree on this point. We have very different approaches. We have different training. Some of it is the same, some of it is different. And in my experience, consent is just so important, especially when you're working in areas where, in my experience, a lot of people don't have the greatest boundaries, with spirituality. So we kind of are wanting to like support. Yeah, people aren't taught like
basics.
And there's a lot of like, yay, just come and be a part of this thing. And somebody is going to like sing this weird siren song that's supposed to open up your chakras. And meanwhile, I'm over here like, I did not agree to this and I do not like the way this feels. I'm just going to go ahead and put a whole fucking barrier around myself. And other people are just like, I'm receiving whatever you're sending my way.
And I was like, no, I know exactly what you're trying to do.
And it works for some people maybe, but I just see so many people struggle with feeling like they honor their own boundaries. That's part of the reason that we make a really big point, is because this is like, it's not an epidemic like what's happening in the world. But dishonoring our own boundaries, in my opinion, is such a vast issue. We dishonor our own boundaries, we dishonor other people's boundaries, and we dishonor ourselves and we dishonor nature. Like there's just this, it's all tied together. So we're just doing this tiny little piece to support changing that.
So Rose right now is going to draw a card, and as she's drawing a card, I've only had 2 people ask for something, so there you go. Aileen, you're hilarious. Aileen's like, permission granted. Oh, I forgot to ask what I wanted. Good.
Such a goofy fucking laugh sometimes. I hear it recorded back and I'm like, I definitely was not like your sister as a kid where I like recorded my laugh to sound cool. I hear my laugh.
Well, it wasn't
like,
to sound
like
cool. It was to test out different laughs and their effects on different people and how they sounded back.
Yes, yeah.
I come from interesting, eclectic humans. Well, somewhat humans.
Do you think she kept that laugh though?
She did. She perfected it. Like the laugh that she thought sounded the best and got the most laughs, and was accepted because she didn't like her laugh.
So what was her laugh before?
I don't know.
Now I'm curious.
I don't know. Oh, okay. We got a few people here on the list.
Do you ever have those days when you just question all your life choices?
I am definitely not questioning the choice that I just made to buy a really powerful weed trimmer holy bananas.
This is not a metaphor, by the way.
This is real.
Marita really likes strong yard work equipment.
Because, this is the thing.
How far down this hole are we going to go, by the way?
We're not. I'm just waiting for you to pull the card. That's fine. I'm trying to fill up airtime here. Well, I want to thank everyone who joined me yesterday on Rainbow Codes. We had over 60 people participate. Wow! Amazing for just something that we put together in a couple of days. It was a impactful class, 90 minutes. If you're still interested in donating and getting the recording, that is possible. Just hashtag Rainbow Code and I'll send you a little Venmo or PayPal thing in private message so you can get it. Again, any donation, it doesn't matter what it is. You got $1, you get $1. You got 50, you get 50. That's just kind of how it is. So that is still available. That way, if you've never seen me, what I really do, this is fun. But it gives you an opportunity to be in the circle and really, this is kind of it's not a new topic for me to talk about. It's a new one that I've been allowed to teach. It's a training that I've grown up with. And this is really the time that we are asking, my teachers are asking me to teach this and beyond and beyond. So check it out, just hashtag Rainbow Codes, and I can give you a way to just do a donation and I'll send you the recording. And still, we have this amazing Rainbow Warrior Level 1 class coming up. Hashtag Warrior if you want that information. It's 7 weeks. There's payment plans. You don't want to miss it. I got people from all over the world join, and I had messages of people saying, this is really for people who don't feel at home in their bodies, for starseeds, for old earth people who are remembering how to, use a rainbow. And I had people text me and be like, this is the safest I've felt or more at home in my body and on this planet in my whole entire life with just one class with some techniques that I taught. So that's pretty exciting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
People said that to you?
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. So here we go with the card for the week.
Want to hold it up for me, baby?
Oh, where is it? Oh, you did. Here it is, Ace of Swords. Look at that beautiful card. We're working with a new deck, and our puppy is chasing something by the wind, by the way.
She's literally chasing
What's
nothing.
this called? The Tarot of the Divine?
This is called the Tarot of the Divine. Yeah. This is a deck that has deities, fairy tales, fables, really energy from all around the world, and it's been woven into the classic tarot. Yoshitani is the author. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Yoshi. So the Ace of Swords is the story of the Gordian knot, which if you're familiar with the Gordian knot, it's a story from Turkey. Well, it's Turkey, Greek. And the Gordian knot is a story about all these people trying to untangle this ridiculously complex knot when the answer was just to get a sword and cut it through. And it just, the energy of the Ace of Swords is like coming at problems from a different angle, right? It might not seem super revolutionary to you to cut a knot through with a knife or a sword or scissors or something. But when everybody has been embattled and embroiled around untangling this impossible to untangle knot, and somebody just comes along and says, why don't you cut this with a sword? That is the energy of the Ace of Swords. It reminds me of, I've had moments like this. I don't know if you've had... Sorry, I was trying to get the random thing. Sorry. I don't know if you've had moments like this where you have been grappling with a problem, just like struggling with it. And then you let it sit for a while, or you have somebody else get involved and they're suddenly like, well, why don't we do it this way? And you're just like, why did nobody think of this before this moment? Holy crap, right? So this is about that burst of inspiration, a new solution, suddenly having a new way of thinking and problem solving, or breaking through a problem It's about truth, assertiveness, creativity, like creative thinking, you know. Sometimes you have those people that you know, like in your workplace or in the teams that you're a part of, where you know if you bring them a problem or you like have them be a part of your teams, they're going to come and they're just going to have this very creative, solution-oriented approach where something that you've been just like struggling with and agonizing over, whether it's by yourself or as a team, suddenly they just have like this idea and you're like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Why? I wish my brain worked like that. And that is the energy. This is the energy that is coming through this week. This energy of finding a different solution. And there's usually, the assertiveness piece is really important because sometimes we get hung up on the framing that somebody else has given to us around how a problem must be solved. It's almost like we assume that there are rules that we need to function within, like this knot. How do you solve the Gordian knot, right? How do you break it apart? Well, if everybody just assumes that the only way to do it is by sitting there and untangling it and getting in fights and, you know, trying to untangle all the pieces, when actually there was no rule that said that you couldn't just slice through it with a giant fucking sword. That is how we check ourselves. It's how we check the own boundaries of our problem solving, our imagination, when we are just going in circles based on rules that don't exist, that we have placed on ourselves, that are implicit rules, as opposed to things that are really restricting the way we need to solve something. So expect some kind of burst of inspiration and shift this week. I did pull a couple other cards. They're just going to probably hold the energy, most of them, but this one I do want to give a tiny bit of attention to, if I can find it. Page of Coins, oh, here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, perfect. Let's see if I can pronounce this. This is the Queen of Coins.
I'm in trouble with this.
Waramurungunju. Waramurungunju. Northern Australia. Gunwingu deity. I'm so sorry if I'm not saying that correctly. I'm going to need to go Google that and make sure that I understand how to pronounce that. And the energy of this is a healer, luxury, being grounded, practicality, and movement. So for me, this like represents the persona that is connected to that Ace of Swords energy. Whether this is the energy of a specific person in your life, or whether this just represents the energy that you carry forward, like the kind of personality, what?
I'm just listening.
Oh, whether it's the actual, like a person outside of yourself, or whether it's when you kind of are embodying a certain type of personality, when you are in like a certain problem solving mode or feeling really like resourced and creative and brilliant and all those things. So she is always moving, loving, and ever practical. She teaches her children how to help themselves. There you go. This is like that. What do you mean? Just go ahead and Google it. Just do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on. Chip chop, you know? All right, there you go. That is the energy for the week. That's really awesome energy. Hopefully I'm going to get in on some of that energy. I would love that.
Oh, money.
Yeah. She's abundant. She's a mama. She's an abundant mama.
Rainbow snakes. She's got
Yeah,
going on.
she does.
Okay, here we go. We did the random.org. Thank you, random.org, for allowing us to do free random lists.
They don't care.
I don't know. So we got Elisa. Elisa, you ready for your card? We're going to get Megan Lee after that, and then Haley.
Here's my thing.
What thing here?
Thank you.
So checking in, Elisa told me what she wanted for her card, which I kind of feel like it's already been answered, but we will draw a card for you.
Which Elisa? New Elisa or your Elisa?
Cacao Elisa, yes.
Cacao.
Jaguar Elisa.
Sorry, we were just talking about my friend Elisa earlier today, so then I was like,
you have to determine. That's why she's like, your Elisa
like,
or
your
mine?
Elisa or my Elisa? My friend Elisa or the Elisa that is in your teaching groups. You do not belong to Marita, obviously. Okay.
Pull it.
We ready?
Damn it.
What's the question?
How they can be better at productivity at work. I'll let you do that.
Okay.
You have a different question now? Okay, let's go. Let's do it. What is?
Chip chop.
What higher message wants to be known for me at the time? I liked the productivity one myself. Too. We're gonna go for the productivity.
It's a little general.
Yeah, it's too general, Lisa.
Just because we do like really specific readings here. So that one's more of like if you wanted a private reading or something like that, we would do something a little bit more general like that.
We'll see what comes up. Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll see. Won't we? Won't we? What are you laughing about?
I'm just laughing because it's the yin and the yang. It's on both.
True.
Okay, she's determining what card, but they both have similar energies, and it's two parts of you at war.
Well, interestingly, it's like there's two parts in each one, at least that's for sure.
There's two. This one? Here you go. This is what you got.
Upside down.
Oh, upside down. Sorry. Well, right side up so you can see what it is. 2 of Cups. Boom, boom. Like this.
Yeah, they really are both connected, but we're going to focus on the one card. So this is the story of Gilgamesh and Enkidu, Sumerian mythology from Iraq. And it represents an ideal relationship that still faces difficulties. To me. Do you want to let her out for just a second?
You can, yes.
Okay, then you take over the reading.
I
was right in the middle of
it. We'll just wait for you. It's fine. I can't get up.
You can't get up? Ah, yes. Yes, there is that. No legs. No legs. Marita, I'm not even going to say. Okay, so Gilgamesh was a tyrant until Enkidu was created for him to be his equal in every way. Though their initial meeting was rocky, they came to love each other very much as opposites who complete each other. So, reversed, this represents imbalance, discord, separation, incompatibility, and a power imbalance specifically as well. The reason I think this is, so the question that you asked initially was about being more productive at work. And the question you asked after that was, is there any message that needs to come through for me? And I think the two are sort of the same answer, which is like, you're at war with the parts of yourself. And but in your case, like, you don't have to create a whole new being, right? Because in this scenario, these beings, both of these parts already exist. And obviously you have many parts. I know you know this. You and Marita done tons of work around this. There's more than just your, 2 parts within you. But there is a power imbalance happening and a power struggle happening between your parts right now. And that will totally fuck with your productivity, especially if you are internally embroiled in it constantly. Like, it's not like something that you make space for, it pops up, it gets in your face, but it's like kind of ongoing inside of you, active battleground all the time when you're trying to do other stuff. And I say this with love because I have absolutely been in that position while working and recognized like how much of my energy was getting poured there and how much it was blocking me from either like also like staying, going, just making a decision, kind of feeling like complete around the decision, moving forward. And so it's really both. The message is that you need to find a way, to which parts are at war, like what are the opposing arguments, basically, right? It's not just figuring out like, is this my head and my heart? It's figuring out what are the like sticking points between the disagreeing parts of yourself. Is this a reality? Like, is it true that they can't exist together? The things that they both want, because the parts can exist together, but sometimes we have stories that things that different parts of us want, we can't have both of them. And sometimes those stories aren't true. And also, how can you learn to detach a little bit so that this isn't just like an ongoing constant conflict, but there are like moments of
detente.
Yeah, little breaks, so that you can be like, this is an ongoing conflict. I'm aware of that, but we both get to have breaks and go, have our meals and refurbish our supplies and kind of like support our, selves. And then we'll come back to the table again, and it might get really feisty and fighty, but it's not going to be all the time. So how can you detach a little bit? And so it's that combination for both of the answers. Is there anything else you wanted to say about it?
Lisa, as you can see, I let Rose say most of the things because you're used to me saying things, but I'm going to say one thing. Two things. You need rules of engagement and you need a referee.
Yeah, good. Done. It really helps to have a referee. It really does. Or figure out like how to make it more fun. Like, are you going to settle this battle by like competitive tiddlywinks? I mean, I don't know. Like, how can you make
Arm wrestling is my favorite, actually.
I know, but sometimes you got to change it up.
No, exactly.
If you've been locked in the same, like,
yeah, I know,
physical hold in like an MMA fight for so long that you can see both people are like exhausted, even though nobody has moved for like the past 30 minutes. Something's got to shift, because
maybe they have to become hippo ballerinas from Fantasia.
Hungry Hippos, another good game option if we're going on like the,
Okay.
So there you go.
There you go, Lisa.
Let us know how that lands. Hope that is helpful. And the other card that you got, just in case you're curious, is the Six of Cups, also a Cups card, also a 2-part card. And that one's about the Snow Queen. So if you are interested in going and looking up that fairy tale on your own, you're welcome to do that and look into it a little bit deeper.
Okay, disconnecting. Okay, we have Megan Lee. Megan Lee, are you still with us? And then after that, we have Haley. Let us know.
Megan Lee.
If you didn't get picked, it's great to stay on. Many people say that they really benefit from the other cards. They're like, oh my God, I should have asked that. We also do a clearing at the end. And if you missed any part, you want to go to the beginning to see what the card of the week is, it is recorded. So you can go and do that. Okay. Megan Lee, ready.
What is it?
Shift, health and finance.
Clearing?
At the end. No card.
Oh.
Rose is going to work hard today.
So what's the question about health and
Will
finance?
there be a shift in her health and her finance by the end of the month?
Oh, okay. We'll see if they decide they want to answer both of those or not. Just one, I think, but we'll see.
Okay, Haley, you stay on. I know you will.
What's this one?
Got it?
The cards are being squirrely today. They're doing a lot of like doubles, but I'm just going to read one again. Okay.
So everyone, thank you for joining us. My name is Marita, one who catches lightning with the path of Ish. This is Rose with Live by Design. Please follow both our pages. Rose also has an amazing group called Adventurers Club. So if you want to learn about courage and adventure, and also if you are looking for someone if you are starting your own online business and you need branding, marketing that is not cookie cutter, highly recommend this one. She is the reason that I've been able to build my business. And not just because she knows me, I'm actually challenging to get to know, but because she has this amazing ability and has degrees, whether it's in master's degrees or bachelor degrees in arts, and also as well in social work, so a little bit of both. And she creatively brings that together to really show you your voice. So if you're interested in that, #courage, she's doing some free calls.
I am. I'm for the next couple of weeks at least. I'm doing some free shadow alchemy calls. They're all about really just a chance for people to connect. But if you want to go into the shadow alchemy work, it's all about transforming an area that you feel like is an area of weakness or struggle or deficit or a block that you feel like is holding you back, and how you help transform that so that it's a part of your medicine. It's just really great. And somebody said in a session, well, actually, I don't want to say that because she didn't give me permission to use the phrase, but the phrase she used was brilliant. And it really reflected how often the thing that we are like here to learn and get better at in this lifetime is also going to be the thing that we like share as our medicine, And sometimes it's the thing that we don't want to share because we're like, oh, I'm so much like a work in progress in this area. But because you've had to learn so much about it, because you've had to grow and learn, that is why it's part of your medicine. So that's like the shadow alchemy piece. I've seen that radically transform how people think about their own gifts in their business and are able to step forward with confidence in them.
So here's your message, Megan Lee. Here's your card.
Megan Lee.
From Australia, down under. Hope everything is well and you're safe.
Suddenly we have a dog.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Ace of Coins. Look at that. I like that.
This card is about the Jack and the Beanstalk fairy tale. Yeah. New beginnings.
Go get me some magic beans, little one.
Oh, new beginnings, financial opportunities, and prosperity. The origin of this gift may be unexpected like magical beans, but through nourishment and support, the benefits could be miraculous. It's time to make dreams a reality. So, excuse me. I definitely think we are answering the money question more than the health question. Had a feeling that they weren't going to answer both of those for you. There was another one, but this feels more focused on the money and less about the abundance in the area of health. So new business, money investments, abundance, security. There's this pieces that really stand out that I want you to know is like, there is an element of faith in this story always, right? Jack and the Beanstalk. You have this unexpected boon, this unexpected windfall or situation come to you, or something works out in a really magical way. But Jack also, remember, his character was not considered to be like the smartest, the sharpest knife in the drawer in the story when he went and traded like their goat or their cow, depending on the version that you read, for magic beans. Everybody was like, you got had, son. That is the stupidest business decision ever. And it actually did not end up being a terrible decision. And I'm not saying be reckless, but I am saying that sometimes, again, we need to sort of only allow people's advice into like a certain degree or depth, because there are times when nobody else around you is saying and understanding things in the way that you understand them or the way that you see them. Nobody else is having the exact insight that you're having. Nobody else. And this is true of everything. I'm actually about to do a live about leadership and my own experience with leadership and how often this is true, where if we are the leaders in our own lives, if we are really doing what like my business, subheading says to do, there is no path until you walk it. There's gonna be times when nobody is saying what you need to hear. There just will be. Where you are gonna be like, yeah, but not quite. Or maybe, hell no, I'm not hearing anything that's like what I need to hear right now. And you're gonna have to take a little bit of a leap of faith. All right. Let me know how that lands. Is there anything you want to add?
Nope.
You seem like you're in a whole new world. All right. Let us know how that lands, Megan Lee. Disconnecting.
Okay. I was writing and telling what hashtags to use to join you.
Oh, thank you. What hashtags?
I said hashtag alchemy if you want to join Rose in a free shadow alchemy call. Hashtag rainbow if you're interested in Rainbow Warrior Medicina level 1. Megan, yes, I love the card. This perfect finances more important. Thank you. I also think with the finances, it's actually going to help the health. It will help. You'll be able to get to what you need. And one last thing, you need to grieve and accept this moment and move through that grief, because you carry a lot of other people's grief. So you need to unload that. Okay, Haley, you're on. Vámonos. Dun, 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 dun. Making sure you're still here, Haley. Give us a hello in the comments.
It's a funny thing about reading cards that I just want to acknowledge, and sort of readings in general, is sometimes when people come to you and they're like, just tell me what's going on, if you don't have like some sort of mysterious tool at your disposal, they might be inclined to ignore what you're saying. But then you're like, wait, let me see what the cards say. And people's minds open so much to hearing things that...
I like reading blank cards.
That's kind of my point. Like, there's times when you almost don't really need the cards to assist you if you're really highly intuitive.
It's a bridge.
Yeah. And also they tell the story in a really beautiful way. Like there's this visual, there's so much. I love cards.
Yeah, Megan Lee, it's exactly that. Okay.
What Megan Lee said.
Grief is affecting her lungs. Yep, it's exactly that.
How many times have we talked about that?
You should check out this. I'll private message you. I'm not going to say this out loud. Megan Lee, look for a message from me. Okay. Okay, Haley, here we go.
Is Haley here? Or what are we doing
we're
for Haley?
Clearing. Butterscotch.
Ribbons. We didn't even ring the bell.
I was already there.
You were early to class. Look at how charming my beautiful wife's face is. So good looking. Anyway.
So, Haley, butterscotch ice cream. But this is the interesting thing. This is what's coming in, is this decision to like, do I have vanilla and add butterscotch to it? Or is it butterscotch ice cream? And I feel like you're of two minds right now.
I'm like, hearing you say that, I could have imagined that was like a thought that you pulled out of Haley's head.
Yes, exactly. So she goes, LOL, butterscotch. So this is, I feel like that idea of like your parents were like, you can only have vanilla and add the butterscotch. And you're like, oh, I don't understand why I have to add it. I should just have butterscotch ice cream. So this is about integration, your favorite topic. So this is really about, are you ready to leave the nest and fly on your own? And make butterscotch ice cream, instead of being like, you can only put the butterscotch on the vanilla ice cream. They have to be two things. So this is about, are you ready to marry all these parts of yourself in the most real, most compassionate, most authentic way that you can? And knowing that when you do that, right, people are still going to love you. They might be like, oh, I've never heard you speak up that way. Mm-hmm. But let it happen. And down the line, you will encourage them. You will see them be encouraged by your ability to integrate and stand in your truth, and not be dictated, your life be dictated by others people's opinion, that then they can start standing on their own. You're going to be your parents, your mother. You're going to be your mother's hero one day. And you probably actually are already. She just doesn't tell you. I'm done. can be your hero, baby.
The flavor I got for you is fresh coconut. And I'm not just talking about like when you go buy a coconut at the store and there's still a little bit of coconut milk in. I mean like the green husked coconut that they like crack it apart with a machete. That is the energy. And it is actually about self-sufficiency.
See? Oh.
Yeah, very related. This is for your... It's interesting. It's for your heart, it's for your third chakra, and it's for the kind of the connection between the two that goes up the back of your body. It's like this little like circular space.
What chakras did you get?
Heart, third, and the space between them that goes towards the back of the body.
Cool.
Like this.
I didn't give her chakra, so I was like, oh. I'm going to go with number 1.
You mean the root? Root. Okay. So this is about the energy of self-sufficiency. This is about the energy of like, hey, I really want that green coconut up there. It sounds delicious. I'd like to feed myself and give myself something to drink. So I'm going to figure out how to climb that fucking coconut tree, and I'm going to go up there and I'm going to knock that shit down, and I'm going to get down. I'm going to figure out a way to open up this goddamn coconut, and then I'm going to enjoy the fruits of my labor. It's like the satisfaction that comes from just like, what if there was nobody else around? You know, sometimes we fixate so much on like when other people are either doing things that are getting in our way, or other people aren't contributing in the way they're supposed to be, or had agreed to contribute to like these shared experiences of life or whatever. But if you just imagine that person is not even in the equation. I used to play this trick on myself when we had roommates and they wouldn't do any of their shit. I just was like, you know, at some point I'm going to live in a house where we're not going to have roommates. And although they also won't be filling the garbage can with their garbage, I'm not going to have anybody to roll the garbage can out or assist with any of these tasks. So I'm just going to imagine right now, like that I get to take pride in the fact that I'm taking care of my own shit and I'm taking care of my property. And like, I'm being self-sufficient and responsible. This is that energy for you. It's like the joy of taking care of your own shit and just being like, yeah, I fucking handled it, you know? Sure, it took me some time, but I didn't need to make like a big drama story about the struggle. Drama stories are things I'm absolutely fantastic at creating, by the way. I am really, really good at it. So I want to say that to say like, I'm not saying that like, get out of your victimhood. None of us live there anymore. Oh yes, we live in our victimhood around the Chihuahua on a regular basis. So I say this with humility. But there is something really, really wonderful about being like, here's this thing I want. I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to figure out how to make it happen. And you do, and it's done. And like, that's it. Take all that fucking emotional drama out of it. That's the energy for you. And it's going to be really lightening. Like it will allow a lot more lightness.
Patrick said, ooh, me too, girl. I love it. Okay, that's it, Haley. How's that landing? Let us know. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. We're going to start
So quiet.
Wrapping it up. So this is the third portion. Our first portion is a card for the week. Then we pull 3 random people and do a card clearing or, a chakra clearing, ice cream chakra clearing, or one card reading. And the last portion is also for everyone. So if you want to participate in the last portion, all you have to say is permission granted in the comments, and then you can participate. If not, you won't get this energy. That's how it goes, okay? And this is just a clearing for...
You don't get none, son.
Mm-hmm. You don't line up, you don't get it. And ask for it. So whether you're watching now or later, just write permission granted, and then you will have access to that energy. That being said, can we hear the bell again?
For those of you who joined us late, if you want to hop back to the beginning and see what the energy of the week was, we did a card draw for the week coming up. It was, in my opinion, some really great energy around solving things creatively. This last week has been a fucking shit show in the United States. I don't know how it's been for all of you around the world, but I've heard some little snippets from other people in other countries as well, some of whom
Everyone's
are
been getting
watching the
sick
United
too.
States and being like, you guys are a fucking shit show of horribleness.
Oh God, there's a bone here. Okay, here we go. Wow. I'm getting cantaloupe. Is cantaloupe's the orange one, right? Oh, Wiki. Where is she?
I know, I burned a lot of candles for her though.
Wiki, please come home. We love you. Okay, melon. And I'm saying that because we have a cat that's missing. We know she's alive. She's a little AWOL. She's trying to get home. She's in California and she loved melons, like obsessed. We'd actually would go and buy her melons so she could just like
Cantaloupe.
She
was obsessed. She would literally like get a little piece and she'd be so protective over it. If another cat tried to come near her, she'd make these adorable little like growling noises, like to protect the melon.
So there's two things about this clearing. There's two things about this clearing. One involves that idea of Wiki, of something that you've lost that's coming back. So have hope. This is actually a clearing to clear any energy that is keeping you from having hope. And I understand it is hard to have hope right now. What is that noise?
It's the dog.
Oh my God, it's so distracting.
She's going around. I don't know what she is.
Oh, someone's doing a watermelon
Hi, what are you doing?
photo shoot tomorrow. So this is about what is that thing that you lost, right? Whether if because of what's happening in the world, right? And people are now arguing about everything. You've lost friends. You will have better friends coming in, or that thing that you lost or that thing that you thought you gave up will be coming back to you. Wiki, I'll see you soon. But this is also about that love and that joy and that passion that comes from actually enjoying life. Can you enjoy life and savor it, right? See, that's like when you're eating it and it's just like so juicy, it's falling all over you. Can you enjoy that? And I love melons because they teach us about how to have a good container, how to hold on to our seeds, which are our seeds of potential, and also how it's important to keep a good rind about us, a good layer of protection, right? Some have thicker layers of protection than another. So this is about hope, sacredness in your life, the ability, again, to be able to enjoy life, the small things and the large things. Got to enjoy the small things so you can see the large things, right? And that idea of how it's important to check in on all of your parts, check in on your, if you have been taught shields, check on your shields, your protection layers. Are you just allowing people to just run through your life like my Chihuahua does with me? No. Are you
allow it frequently?
We're working on it. Are you taking care of your seeds, your dreams, the things that you want to be planting? Because this is the time to plant them, right? Don't hold on to them too preciously and not plant them. So it's time to plant your seeds, your ideas.
Bad.
Seeds go bad.
They do. This is a true thing. Have you ever tried to plant a packet of seeds that have been sitting in your shelf for like 10 years? Depending on the seeds, none of them might grow. Just saying.
So make sure that you plant those things, and you have to plant them with hope. You never know what's going to happen, whether it's a conversation that you're having and you're planting a seed in someone. It might take 10 years, 10 minutes. But it's time to plant those seeds, time to do it with hope, love, and that memory of keeping things sacred, including yourself. That's all I got.
I love hearing you say that because I am doing all those free calls right now. And you just reminded me of that, like the perfect timing of all of the seeds that you plant, as somebody who's running a business, when you're doing things for free, when you're just doing like outreach and market research and just connection with people, all of those are just all these little seeds, and whether they ever turn into like somebody becoming your client or not, they are seeds of change, they're seeds of potential, they're seeds of relationship. And so I liked hearing that one too. Feels very apropos. My flavor for you, not my flavor, but the flavor that I got for everybody, I'm going to keep it pretty simple and short, was the flavor Blueberry Bay, like blueberry laurel. Never had this flavor.
Fancy.
I have had chocolate and bay laurel ice cream before. Delicious.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, we had it before. It was like that honeymoon ice cream. Remember honeymoon? They were in jars, you know?
So good.
So the energy of this flavor is very simple. It is, the blueberry is for your throat. These are not actually fresh blueberries. For some reason, I specifically got like the energy of blueberries that have been like stewed and cooked, and like they're dark, and they've, you know, they're not the bright, fresh, pop in your mouth kind of blueberries. They're a little bit darker energy. These are for your throat. This represents and is for the energy of the maturation of words, of speech, of gifts, of expression, right? The next one, the bay laurel, is going to be for your crown. So this is for right up here. So we got a double trouble situation going on in a good way. When we clear our energy up here, it also helps us to express more clearly here. And when we are cohesive within ourselves, it makes it even more clear what it is that it matters for us to say in a moment. And this is definitely a week to pay attention to that. You know, particularly when we think about being leaders in our own lives, when we think about having cohesion in our own lives, sometimes you'll notice when you go to talk, you don't really understand why what you're saying feels so important to you. And if you express it, sometimes that's the only way to get underneath and really realize, why do I care so much about saying this? Sometimes the answer is grief. It is a desire for something more that you recognize isn't going to be there, or didn't come, or somebody is different than who you thought they were, right? It's all expectations. But that grief, once you have created the space to allow it to rise, can bring those type of truths through your mouth, through your expression, where you are then saying things that, the way I like to say it is, they resonate with the vibration of truth, and you will reach people and you will change yourself in that process as well. So okay. There you go.
Beautiful, beautiful.
There's your clearing. It's been Ice Cream Sundays with Nougats of Truth. My name is Rose with Live by Design. My group is the Adventurers Club if you want to hop in. It's not just about adventuring and travel and courage. It's really about empowerment. It's about really getting outside of ourselves, because when we box ourselves in, we are not doing anybody any favors. And some of that is through the process of exploration and travel and inspiration and all of these things. And some of that is like through shadow work and really questioning ourselves and challenging ourselves. I'm also a designer, a copywriter, and a content creator, a graphic artist as well. So I weave that into quite a bit of my work, and I've stopped fighting that to some degree at this point, because people keep on coming to me for that, and I've been doing a lot of it my whole life. So thank you all so much for being here. This is my partner Marita with the Path of Ish, one who catches lightning, and still have that class available that just got recorded totally on a donation basis, which is really amazing. It was super successful. People like didn't want to leave. I overheard them being like, oh, it's over. Oh, you know, and then has their Rainbow Warrior Level 1, Rainbow Warrior Medicina Level 1 coming up.
And I do want to say this, all my classes are live. So this isn't like recorded stuff that are with evergreen content. No, my classes are live because there is meditation and ceremony. They're taught in a very specific manner. These classes are 3 hours long. Okay?
I'm really glad you said that, actually.
I always forget, because I'm just old school.
I don't realize sometimes when I sign up for stuff that the majority of the class is just going to be like a recorded thing, and then you just get access for like questions. Even that is like more than a lot of people do these days. All of the classes are live with Marita, unless you can't make the lives.
With me.
So it's a lot of like direct access to this amazing human being. In case you don't realize how amazing, let me tell you.
So all my classes, all my teachings, everything that I do are live. Right now, everything's on Zoom. Most things are recorded, some things are not. It depends on the permission that I get from elders. And I only teach things that I am allowed to teach. And I always give back, not just to Mother Earth, community, but to my teachers as well. So I'm pretty old school. Some people just don't understand how that works. But yeah, these are live. These are going to be 3 hours. It's going to be intense, 7 weeks. Intense in the sense of like, maybe I have to start using another word. You're going to be sitting for 3 hours, We'll take a break.
You need to use another word.
Okay, it's going to be intense. I'm intense.
Marita's work is intense. If you're like a light, fluffy person and you'd rather be carefree, Marita's work is probably not for you.
And that's fine.
Although some people in Marita's classes are very like light and lovely and sort of airy-fairy, but they also work their butts off, and they're like really love Marita's work. So you really do have to kind of know.
I did have someone who was in my cacao class said that she was trying to get her friend to do it, and she's like, oh no, this person's gonna, I'm gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to face myself. No, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to face myself. Thank you so much.
Anyways, hope to see you soon in one thing or another, and see you next Sunday. And remember this week to live your life
to the sweetest.
Mahalo, everyone.
Sweetest you can.